Most people over 60 are told by their doctors to keep active and exercise, and walking is the number one recommended thing. Then they go to Google or YouTube and immediately get hit with walking isn't enough. You need to do strength training. You need high intensity. You need more, more, more. So which is it? Is walking a waste of time? Do you need to be doing more? Or could it be exactly what some people need? The honest answer, it depends on you. So today, I'm going to explain the difference between activity and exercise and how walking fits into that, why you've been told walking isn't enough, and how to know exactly whether walking is actually right for you. But before we get into that, you need to understand why clinicians and YouTubers say walking isn't enough. Walking is low load, it's low intensity, and has low muscular exertion. For muscle growth and strength preservation, especially after 60, the research is very clear. Strength training is the gold standard. The major global guidelines, including the American College of Sports Medicine, recommend resistance or strength training at least twice per week for adults over 60. And large reviews and meta-analyses consistently show progressive resistance training improves muscle mass, strength, bone density, and functional ability. Walking is excellent for your cardiovascular health, but walking alone does not maximize muscle preservation. That's why you hear the narrative of walking isn't enough. And from a purely physiological standpoint, it's true. Here's where nuance matters. Those guidelines assume you already have a certain level of capacity, and lots of people don't. So this is where walking is actually enough, and the part that most of these videos miss. If somebody is severely overweight, frail, or deconditioned, living with multi-joint arthritis or chronic pain, they're managing heart disease or hypertension, or simply unable to tolerate strength training just yet, walking might be exactly what they need. If walking elevates your heart rate, challenges your breathing, leaves your legs feeling fatigue, and requires recovery, then that is exercise for you. And it's not just activity. In this instance, walking can improve your insulin sensitivity, improve your aerobic capacity, load joints safely, improve your mood and function, and build that foundational capacity. For that person, walking is not just an activity, it's structured exercise. And this is the nuance that most YouTube videos ignore. Walking is stimulus relative to baseline. Exercise is defined by the stress it places on your current capacity, not by what someone fitter than you can tolerate. Here's how to easily tell if walking is actually enough for you or just maintenance. If you can walk 30 to 45 minutes continuously, comfortably, if you can hold a full conversation the entire time, or if you're a little bit more sciencey, you stay under roughly 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. If you can hit your 8,000 to 10,000 steps per day and recover easily the next day, then walking for you is maintenance. It's great for health, it's a great foundation, but it's not a strong enough stimulus to build and preserve muscle mass long term. So if that's you, walking should be your foundation, but you need to layer resistance training on top of that. On the other hand, if walking leaves you breathless and your legs fatigued, if you need to rest for hours or even a day recovery afterwards, and your step count feels like effort, then walking is exercise for you and it should be structured appropriately. Let me give you a real world example. So I once heard of a trainer that had his first session with a morbidly obese woman. She needed help getting out of the car, and by the time she walked into the gym and sat down, she was exhausted. They had their initial consultation, he made a plan to help her hit her goals, and then he walked her back to the car and he charged a full session for that. Because for her, that was a challenging workout. Exercise is not defined by what looks impressive, it's defined by how much stress it places on your current capacity. How to make walking enough. Now, if you enjoy walking, or if it's currently your only realistic option, there are ways to make it more than just an activity. You can increase the stimulus without jumping straight into heavy strength training. Here's how. You can do intervals. Walk at a faster pace for 1 minute, then slow for 2. Repeat that. That alone can significantly increase your cardiovascular demand. Option number 2 is hills or an incline or stairs. Walking uphill dramatically increases load through your glutes and your quads. It turns a casual walk into real work. Number 3 is uneven terrain. You can do trails or grass or slightly unstable surfaces. This increases your balance demand and ankle strength. Fourth is to add load, a small backpack or carry a light weight, and progress this gradually. This is called rucking, and it's damn tough if you do it properly. Adding load increases muscular demand without needing complex equipment. So a few years ago, I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. It's the highest standalone mountain in the world. It took 4 days of hiking to reach the summit. Now, I train most days, strength, cardio, and high intensity, but this was one of the most physically demanding things I've ever done. And it was just walking, really. What made it difficult wasn't the act of walking itself, it was the incline, the accumulated load that we had to carry, and the reduced oxygen at altitude. Near the top, even simple tasks like putting my shoes on left me exhausted. That's what simple walking can feel like if your capacity is low because of weight, arthritis, heart conditions, or just general deconditioning and frailty. Walking isn't easy in that context. It's serious exercise. So here's the big takeaway. Walking is not automatically enough, and it's not automatically useless. It depends on your baseline. For some people, walking is the perfect starting point. For others, it's just the foundation. The key is knowing which group that you're in. Now, if you're in the group that needs strength training, you need to have a structured plan with clear progression. Otherwise, it's all just a waste of time. So watch this video next to make sure that your strength plan is actually working.